Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
Hey, today we just heard some shit before we got online that was this conversation that Steve Harvey and his wife are heading for divorce. That's what I saw this morning. And here's what I heard, which is really fucked up. I heard, per the news, that his wife, Marjorie, fucked his bodyguard
Wow.
and asking for divorce and asking for $200 million as a settlement.
Really?
Hey,
You
yes,
didn't have to put all that out there. You did not have to put all the facts is the facts. Well, I don't even know if it's a fact. I did not verify this. I just found this out this morning myself. Perhaps they're on the fence of a divorce, right? Like, how you gonna act when it's time for a breakup? Because breakups happen all over the place, right? With all types of terms and conditions that mess you up later on, right? Let's say you break up inside your house with your mother, right? At 17, right? You go storming out of the house. What you realize you're losing, right? What do you realize you losing leaving out of mom and dad's house too early, right? Dang, I ain't got no free rent no more. I can't just borrow their car when my car breaks. Like, like the very idea that she's asking them for something. You're going to lose something when you break up, right?
Yes, you're going to.
Something. Yeah.
But God damn, and I think we talked about a little bit earlier, is like, what the hell Steve do for this to end at this point?
I'm hoping that he did something, because to me, it just got to make sense.
It got to.
It just has to make sense. You're not just rolling out with, the little bodyguard that's on the payroll and asking me for a coin when you leave out.
No, it's not going to happen.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
There's no fucking way. First of all, if I found out, if I got paperwork and said, wait a minute, you fucked my bodyguard? You paid my bodyguard? Wait a minute. That motherfucker. Oh, first of all, he knows. You know that motherfucker's fired. He gone. In fact, I don't even want to talk to him, because again, I'm like, you know what? This ain't worth getting into this with this motherfucker, because he obviously took advantage of the situation. So fuck him. I'm getting him out the picture. Second thing I'm gonna do is like, she fucked my bodyguard. The other question, T, who else did she fuck?
I don't know. You only know of the bodyguard. That is it. That's it. That's all you know of.
Yes.
That's all you know of. Yeah.
And why?
Normally it's just one person.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, after 15 years, going on 16 years, getting married, and how happy you seem to be in the public eye, and you're always in Greece and Italy and all Dubai and all these places talking about, oh, my wife this, my wife that. What the fuck? Where was you at when all this shit was going on? What happened that she decided to fall off like this? And so,
I don't know, Steve, it's too much of a bam situation, like you expected to see it like kind of breaking down, like less pictures on the social media, like less something.
Yes, because again,
less vacations.
Yes, less vacations and all that shit. Here's an example. Beyonce's mother, who's married to this actor, and this was married for a long time, great couple, look good. And then along the way, she didn't have, somebody said, oh, I didn't know it's her ring. And I didn't see him in certain things. I didn't see him in certain events. And kind of find out they got a divorce. Okay. But you start seeing less of him, or less of them together, and then certain things. So you kind of say, "Oh, well, something definitely going on." In this case, it was kind of like a shocker. Like, what the fuck? What happened? Because you didn't see less of Marjorie. You didn't see, him not talk about her, or kind of dissipate.
I mean, well, she was part of his branding almost.
That is also true, because he said, and he always said, "Oh, she wasn't for Marjorie, I wouldn't be where I'm at," and he kept saying this. So I guess in her mind, well, he had to do something, because I don't see women, and I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for y'all. As a woman, what would have to happen for you to do something like that? In your particular, if you're a woman, and what would have to happen for you to say, I'm gonna walk away with $200 million and fuck with the bodyguard? before I leave.
Are they running the same time? Put me on camera. Wow.
I'm sorry.
I would never mess with the bodyguard. Okay. I would never mess with the bodyguard. But this situation, I'm going to assume that Steve did something as opposed to the nothing. And as far as the 200 million is concerned, I'm going to assume that she's asking for what assume she helped build, or maybe not assume, know she helped, assistant. Because like I said, I assume she was sort of part of the brand, part of the look that he now, is not to say trying to sell, but that, is so like, very family oriented all the way around. And she's okay to showing up to make sure that, we receive that. And I don't think it was nothing disingenuous about, who they presented themselves, but marriage is marriage. And sometimes shit gets rough. Okay.
Yes, that's true.
It gets rough. And you don't situation. She's coming out on the side where, she's departing. And in that departure, I need some money. I need some money and don't know what to tell you.
And you he presented himself. He went from the long ass goddamn suits he used to wear, back in the early 2000s to more of a business kind of approach. So I can understand saying, I changed that and I basically changed upped your net worth by me making these changes. I can see that. And so now, if that's the case, I can see her asking for that. Now, here's a crazy thing to me. Steve Harvey had money before he met her. I don't understand why the hell he had a prenup. And I don't know if he didn't have a prenup, she wouldn't sign the prenup. But I will say this. If I'm working, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna look at my camera. I ain't going no goddamn way because my wife got half my shit. So if I was not married and I had 50, yep.
Be careful. Be careful. That's what I mean, you my boy.
Yes.
You're my boy.
Yes.
And
so you will want to protect yourself if you're a guy and you come into a relationship knowing that you're a guy who's loaded, i.e. Bill Gates. Bill Gates is not just going to marry anybody and not have them sign some prenup because he's worth billions. So he'd be a fool to say, I'm going to marry you for love and hope to God that down the road that you won't leave me or you won't find me unattractive or somehow you won't just want to leave me. So he would, as a businessman, would want to protect himself from any possible things on the road like a divorce or that kind of stuff, or her coming for half his stuff. So you would think a guy like that would have or talk to a lawyer beforehand. And here's another question. As a woman, would you sign a prenup if a guy offered it or kind of say, I want you to sign one if we get married because I'm loaded, I'm loaded, and you coming in this with not so much. You mean I had nowhere near the money I have. Would you be open to sign a prenup?
So my thing about a prenup is it only encompassing money?
It covers everything. It covers.
I mean, if the prenup is speaking about money only because you have big money coming into the situation, I think perhaps you got a solid, argument to say, I want to visit some type of, agreement before we get married, because that's all it basically is saying, that, hey, we're going to enter into an agreement before, we get married, to kind of outline what we're doing here. But I don't think that you should only outline, like money. And I don't think I think you can outline more than just the money side of things. So I don't think that it necessarily will work only for the man. But I think that if the woman actively is participating in, making this prenuptial agreement and making sure it works for the both of them, I
Mm-hmm.
don't see a problem.
Okay.
But I'm
Okay.
certainly not going to enter into a prenuptial agreement that does not serve me. So
Mm-hmm.
let's make that part all the way clear, because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Now I can see now from a guy's point of view, I can see if I'm about to get married, I'm loaded, and you don't have any money. I can see you having a conversation saying, okay, listen, whatever you had before the marriage is yours. Whatever I had is mine. Now, during the marriage, when we accumulate things, now
Mhm.
that's us. That's community property. Then I have to split that 50-50. That's not a, oh, well, you don't get nothing. No, because we bought it together. That may mean I may use my money to buy it, but if I'm a guy, I'm like, hey, that's only the right thing to do. But also, I would actually put a time limit in there too. I wouldn't just say, just put it in there just arbitrarily. We at least got to be married for like, I don't know, fucking 10 years before certain things kick in. Because a lot of people do that. They put time limits in. Like, some people can get married and like, fuck, I'm going to get a divorce in like 6 months. And then you're like, ah, damn it, we ain't get shit. Or you may have bought a house. We buy a house together. We do all this stuff. Then you're like, oh, you know what? I'm tired. I don't want to be in this. So just sell this house and no. At this point, you got to we all understand marriage is a contract anyway. It's a business arrangement.
Yeah, it's
Really.
an agreement that we're both entering into.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
you want to be fair. That's my whole thing. You don't want to be that dude like, what, something happens to your ass, I ain't taking care of you, whatever. But it should benefit both, i.e., let's reverse it. Let's say you came in there with just absolutely loaded
Mhm.
and I ain't got a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I would expect you to have me sign a prenup because I ain't got shit. And you got the
Yeah.
money and you want and as a guy, like, you know what? We could do some shit together. So if I sign it and we do shit together, I do expect that it doesn't work out. That I do get, where we worked out. I wouldn't expect it. I want to give her some of her money. I wouldn't expect it. I wouldn't. In
Yeah,
fact, if it's a guy, I
especially
wouldn't want it.
based off of like what, like based off
Yes,
why. So in this situation, we don't know. And oh no, you said she cheated. That's not the whole reason. I'm just like, it's too simple. It's too
it
simple,
is.
you
It
know.
really is.
Um, you got to know the why on and base it off of the whys, because if you just got bored and tired with me and now your bored and tiredness wants to take half of my everything, no, that doesn't make any sense, and you're free to move on and carry on and break up and go, try your luck elsewhere. But you don't just get bored and take somebody's half of every. What? Yeah, no, you certainly would want to be protected. And, if you're a mother and you're a woman, you want to be protected. And certainly you can relate because you're going to have a son who's, you're either going to see him be taken care of or be taken advantage of. So, you always got to be careful with side, you kind of weighing in on these things, because even if you're not sitting in that seat right now, right, you're going to be
Mm-hmm.
watching the people that you love sit in that seat later on. So even if you're a man and you're like, I want to protect all of my everything, right? And I'm not giving her nothing. Like, okay, because was your mother giving nothing? Like, is that how you wanted her to be treated? Like,
Oh, damn.
yeah,
You went
yeah.
there, didn't you? Oh
You
Lord.
have to, because it's either going to be your mom or it's good. Do you want your father to be taken advantage of and snatched, to nothing because, the woman that he loved or changed her mind just because, it's okay, solid. Somebody does something, oh, they abandoned me. They, cheated. They, whatever reason that we create a grounds for,
Mm-hmm.
divorce. We get it. Okay, that's fair. This is how much money, I said I would give off and carry on. But not for shits and giggles, not just because you got bored, not just because you changed your mind. Like, oh, this wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. Like,
Yeah, that's a
nobody
that's
wants
that's a
that.
no, that's a bad way to go out. I mean, and especially since in life you're gonna change anyway. Everybody, you're changing every day. So to say that you got bored, how the fuck you get bored and not tell the person you're bored?
Mhm.
How you married and not
Oh,
have that conversation?
how you get bored and not go entertain your damn self? What? I'm supposed to jump around and entertain The spouse? What if you don't find a hobby?
Yes, you should have a fucking hobby. And that's the other thing people
Yes.
fail to realize. Don't know their situation. That's their situation. And when people get married, even in relationships, you got to be you. I can't tell you how many people I heard over the years talk about, you know what, we gotta be all one, we gotta be all together. And that's true to a point.
Right.
As a team, you want to be together. But you should have your own likes and dislikes, your own hobbies, your own shit, your own
Mm-hmm.
time away. No, we should be all up on people's ass. If you go somewhere every time you turn around, your girlfriend is there or your wife is there with your boys, you're like, what the fuck? She don't trust
Mm-hmm.
you? Why is she here?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Mm-hmm.
you tell you was coming with? Yeah, but she wanted to come. No, play it.
Yeah,
No,
nobody
stop it.
else's spouse is there. It's a little bit, and it go both ways.
Yes, it
It's
does.
a time and place for everyone to be, where they supposed to be at. Sunday dinners, it's family. That's
Mm-hmm.
family,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sunday morning brunches at, fancy restaurants, sometimes that's girlfriend outings. Sometimes that's, hubby and wife outing. Like, but to say that you shouldn't have like your own time to yourself and have your own life and your own likes and your own hobbies and your own things that you're into, that's a bizarre concept. It's like, what are you going to smother your partner? Like, we all need space from
Yes.
anything and everything that we love, down to the children, down to our parents, down to our siblings, and down to the people that we share our beds with.
Yes, you have
Yes.
to. You got
Mm-hmm.
to because you need that break, that mental space to process. How many times you came home? I know I've done it. Came home and sit in the car for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You had a rough day. Shit was going crazy at work. You fighting fucking traffic, hour and a half in traffic, and you just said, I know when I walk in the house, there's gonna be a whole bunch of other conversations. I ain't ready for it. So I'm sitting in the car. I may listen to some music. I may just turn everything off and just sit back and just get my mind right before I go in and tackle that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people need to understand. You got to have some me time. You got to have that. And if anybody want to allow you to have some me time, you probably don't want to be with that person because it's just going to get worse. It's not going to get better. And that's the other people. Oh, that's what's right. That's so cute. That shit ain't cute when it's later on down the road when your ass can't go no goddamn. When you calling your phone, where you at? What the fuck you mean? I just got to work. You ain't call me. What the fuck? You got problems. It happens both ways now. It happens with where you at?
Women. Oh, it absolutely happens with women. We love attention. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so, like, check in. What? You at work and you didn't even call me? Oh, yeah. Like, why you didn't call me? Like, what?
Yes, and all of a sudden you sit there like, what the fuck? I just got here.
Mhm.
I didn't know. I forgot. How you gonna forget me? I didn't mean forget. I didn't forget you in this
Wow.
situation. So now you got to deal with that. Like,
That's a
God
whole nother
damn.
level.
It's like, oh fuck, my words being used against me. Fuck, what the hell have I done? And you got to deal with that. And a lot of people are used to it. I mean, again, it
I mean,
depends
you
on your
really
background.
don't have to deal with it. You choose to deal with it, right? And you normalize
Mm-hmm.
the type of behavior. And
Mm-hmm.
you carry on until, either you can continue to carry it on or you don't, or you can't.
Exactly. That is so
Mm-hmm.
damn true. And that also goes back. We talk about marriage, but I also talk about relationships like families, friends, associates, all that
Mm-hmm.
shit. There's a time you have to break up with them. There's a time you say,
Yeah.
you know what? This shit ain't healthy. I can get the fuck away from them. And you just got to go away. But a lot of people, you know what? I know them for 20 years. I grew up together with them. Yeah, but I hate doing it. My question is this. What is the purpose of them being in your relationship, in your life in any way? I don't give a fuck you know them for 30 years. Are they still the same relevant person they were when you first met them 30 years ago? Or those motherfuckers are just somebody you just happen to fucking know and it's just part of your lineage of
It's the
living?
relevant part for me. Like, are they even still relevant? Um, that sometimes it does boil down to that. Like, friends are friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some people you do kind of have to let them go, and love them from, a little bit of afar. And it might not last forever, and it just might last forever. But for the time that it needs to go on for, you gotta love some people from afar.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That is
Sometimes
so
you need a
true.
whole family. You know, yeah.
Hello.
I
You know
mean,
that's right.
like
That's right.
you might need just your mental break, your mental peace, because you haven't maybe set up certain boundaries, and so now you need to, you know, start setting up those boundaries. And hopefully if you allow people back into your life and in your space, you make certain that they're able to respect your boundaries without you, being taken all the way outside of who you really are, i.e. getting
Yes.
excited, getting angry, getting sad, getting offended, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
those are the feelings. Those are some of the reasons why you gotta walk away. Like,
Yep.
no, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep feeling like this.
That is so true. And some people, you just like every time you see them, it's like your hair stands up on your head. The
Yeah,
goosebumps, like you just like, oh fuck, you still here?
yeah,
Oh man, I gotta deal
yeah.
with you. And you really don't. You just have to, have that conversation or don't have that conversation.
A
Just
man,
don't
a
fuck with
man,
them.
a man in a house with a miserable woman. Every time he
Oh,
sees like misery, misery, a miserable man. Can you imagine being a chippery woman in a house with a man who's miserable every day? Like
oh,
life sucker. Life like it hurts both ways. Like you can really be sucking the life out of each other. Like, you know what? No, that's
that
about
is
that time. It's
that
about
is so
that
true.
time. That's the
That
love
is
you from afar. Because you
God.
can't really change, the way that you feel about certain people.
No.
But you know what? Flag on the play. Flag on the play. But
Yeah.
that's real far away. Real far away.
And it's true. You hear people go through this all the time. Like, I really don't like him, but Mama said I should deal with him, and Mama said this, and Mama said that, and I always listen to him, and I say to myself,
Ah,
listen, you're a grown ass person now. You're
yeah.
grown. If you're a kid, you had no choice in it. Your mom and dad take your ass wherever you had to go, and where you gonna go, and you're gonna fucking shut the fuck up. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna drink the drink. You're gonna eat the food, and
Mm-hmm.
then as long as we're there. Now, after you come back home, okay, you ain't got to talk to them. But when you become an adult, you do choose who the fuck you want to deal with and who you want to mess with. So if mama still mess with this person you didn't like when you were little, and then you're a grown ass person, mom said, well, I'm going to such. Have a good time, mama. Have a good time, dad. You ain't coming? Fuck, I ain't coming. I ain't because I don't like them. Oh,
Yeah.
you need to stop acting like that. No, I don't like them. Don't
Yeah.
force me to
Ben
be
didn't
around them.
like him and ain't gonna start liking them now.
No. No, so we're not even gonna go there. And so now
Mhm.
you gotta deal with that angst. I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to deal with you. And it's just like with like people at work. And you deal with them because they work with you. But I ain't trying to be your friend at work. I don't want to be
Nope.
your. I want to sit around and shoot the breeze with you and shit. I'm there for a purpose. I'm gonna deal with you. I'm gonna talk to you, and then outside of that, I don't want to be on your world. I don't want no.
Mhm.
I want you to be in my world. I don't want to be in your world because that's how shit happens. So I don't want none of that shit to go on. And I think people don't have enough guts. I'm gonna use that term to make that decision. Like I'm not messing with that person and stand firm rather than being persuaded to. Oh, maybe they're better. Well, the motherfuckers ain't better. They got even worse. So you need to say I ain't fucking with them. Fucking with them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to deal with them.
I
And that's
mean,
in general.
coworkers, you got to learn to deal with them differently, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Than like friends and family who you purposely show up for and allow them to show up for you, right? Because
Absolutely.
coworkers, they're in the place where you would get paid at. you know
Yes.
you voluntarily show up there, they voluntarily show up there, hopefully it's for the same purpose, and now you got to figure out how to move around them differently, because we're going to assume that they're going to continue acting the same way. You can't
Yes.
change them, you can only change yourself there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So and that's where a lot of people and I think it starts at home, then it just manifests itself into work and different things. It's like people don't know
Hmm.
how to say no, or they don't know how to
Creating proper
disconnect themselves.
boundaries.
Yes,
It's the
boundaries.
boundaries that you
It's
create for people. Yeah.
that's right there, boundaries.
Hmm.
People don't respect boundaries, they don't set boundaries.
Hmm.
It's like your house. You have a fence around your house. So that's telling people, This is my house. So don't come and play in my yard. Don't come in and fuck around in my house because you're gonna get in trouble. We're gonna have some shit.
Yeah.
So you need to do that same thing in your life. And that means you got to sit back and evaluate your life and set boundaries. And I think a lot of people don't set them or don't even know how to set them because they're trying to be appeasing to everybody. But then if you have
Well,
no boundaries, then what?
yeah, but more than setting, understanding how to set boundaries, right? People have to respect because the boundaries are invisible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the
Mm-hmm.
boundaries that you're trying to create, you have to carry yourself in a certain type of way where people will respect your boundaries.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have
Like
to.
you can't be the super nice person and want, people to stop, doing a certain thing and you're being super nice and allowing it. You have to open up your mouth and project and say no. You have to say stop. You have to say we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. You can't be the super nice person talking about I'm trying to set this certain boundary because you're not actually doing it. You got to be
No.
intentional.
You have to be. You
Mm-hmm.
got to be, and you have to, and you can't be wishy washy because a lot of people,
Yep.
some people you see them one day they're happy, next day they're sad. Like, what the fuck? What's
Yep.
wrong with them? He said
Yep.
you got to be consistent on what you're doing.
Yep.
Now, of course, we all got bad days. We all had great days, but that shouldn't temper how I treat you. Because I'm having a bad day. That don't mean I treat you like shit. Because
Yeah.
people like, I know this motherfucker having a bad day because this motherfucker walked in the room and didn't say nothing to nobody. Now, hello, goodbye.
Yeah, but
Nothing.
even on your most wishy-washy days, I've already set a boundary with you to where don't bring your shit in my direction. Yeah, because that boundary is set. However you're feeling, that's your personal situation. Don't try to affect me with your shit because I've already set that boundary that no, I will not allow it.
See,
Right?
that's
Yeah.
perfect. That's You're absolutely right. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of people don't you feel uncomfortable doing, but you have to. Because again, if
You
not,
have to.
people will fucking use you up and spit you out. And you be like, I got nothing left. Well, you gave them everything. And
Yeah.
I had a
Because they
conversation with
don't know
someone
how
recently.
not to.
Exactly. I had a
Mm-hmm.
conversation with someone recently, like, I just don't know how to say no. I said, you better fucking learn it, how to say
Yeah.
no. Because if not, they're gonna keep taking and taking and taking, and there's gonna be nothing left. And you're gonna look at you and say, wow, how do you get so worn down and washed out? Well, motherfucker, you're the one that had something to do with it because I allowed you to wash me out. I
Yep.
allowed you to take everything from me. So you got to start setting boundaries. And the fucking person said, well, I never set boundaries before. I said, well, you need to start setting them motherfuckers because if not, you are not going to be around long because it's taxing. It takes a lot out of you by not having boundaries because everybody expects you to not have boundaries. Everybody just walk in your house and walk in your refrigerator and take your shit and I'll be
It
back.
takes more out of you to not have the boundaries than it does to put proper boundaries in place. And even though we say it so easily, it's not an easy thing to do,
No,
right? It's really
no,
not. It's not the
no.
easiest thing to do, and you might lose some people along the way because some people are not going to like, the new no's because they liked you because you gave them the yeses, and that's fine. It
Hmm.
was nice to have known those people, and carry on.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
it's strange you brought that up because I also saw another story about a woman and well, guy's married and his mama jumped in the front seat and she was like, "Why your mama in the front seat?" And the mama said, I'm his mama. He always gonna love his mama more than he love his wife." And she was like, "Come on now." And he was like caught between, well, here's my mama. And I looked at it and I was just like, okay, you have no balls. I'm just gonna say you have no balls. Because first of all, your mama is your mama.
Mm-hmm.
Respect that. But you decide to get married.
Mm-hmm.
So if you read the Bible, it tells you
Mm-hmm.
you have to forsake the childish ways because you're now a husband. You have
Yeah.
a family.
Yeah.
So for your mama to just start, oh, I'm gonna sit in the front seat
She
because
knew
I'm
she was out of order.
and
That's rule
he
number one. She
see
knew she was out of order. That's the first thing, the fact that you made the action and then to say it out loud. Like, and then because he loves me more, I'm his mama. Like, huh? Like,
yes.
what?
Yes. So the wife looking like crazy, like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
his mama. So she's like, I know I do things that your mama don't do for you.
Absolutely. And
I
then you
see.
just going to allow this. That's the other part. Are you going to allow this, or are you going to set the boundary with your mother right here and right now, because she has positioned you to set this boundary like this? I would never position you to set the boundaries like this, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You have
And
to be careful of the people who put you in certain positions, right? Like
yes,
my mother would
yes.
never, you know, that just doesn't make sense. I would never. It doesn't make sense. You
No.
want your children to be in thriving relationships, and you certainly don't want to be, any of the reasons why the relationship, comes to a speed bump, or, has an issue or problem. You certainly don't want to be that issue or problem in your kids' relationship. That's ridiculous.
Yes. And it's so crazy because and I just kept waiting for this guy to say something.
Mm-hmm.
He
It never
literally
came.
was stuck. No, he was like, "Well, baby, just
Yep.
get in the back. We'll talk about this later on." She said, "No, let's talk about this now." This happens all the time.
Yep.
He said, "Not that good one time." She said, "What are you gonna tell? What are we doing here?"
Yeah,
And
we're
it went
doing
off.
nothing here, because at this point I have to set my own damn boundary by walking away from you. I'm done.
Absolutely,
I'm good on
absolutely.
this. I'm not gonna play no games with your mama. We're
Your
not gonna
mama?
play mama games. Nope.
No,
Nope.
no,
I'm good on that. I'm all
no.
the way good on that. Not
And
gonna
these,
play disrespect from another woman. Blatant disrespect from your mother, and you're
mm,
gonna normalize the behavior. And you're
mm,
going to normalize the behavior with who? Not with me. No.
exactly. It just blew my mind. I'm like, what the fuck? And I also thought like, is that a burden that mothers put on their sons?
That did you not see his face? He was burdened by the choice. The fact that he was positioned in that, when somebody burdens you in life like that, with a choice like that, you technically can't trust that person. That's not trustworthy.
Oh,
How could
damn.
that possibly? Well, first of all, she knows her place in life. She knows the proper order. You sit in the
Hmm.
front seat of your own man's car. Where's your husband at?
Oh, hello.
Where's dad? How about that?
Exactly. Where's he at?
No, that's the front seat that you sit in. Okay. And if you want my girl to be in the back seat, she'll be in the back seat of your damn car. Like, not the back seat of my car. And I'll be in the
Hmm.
back seat with her. Like, because that must mean
Absolutely.
that, his car broke down on the side of the road or something.
Exactly.
Like, why else is we in the back seat of your car, mom? Like, come on.
And
You
see,
in my car because your man is missing and you acting up. Your ass is out of order.
oh,
That's
see,
normally what you're going to get when there's something missing from the puzzle. That situation was out of order for a reason.
then then when these mamas see this podcast, they're gonna be fucking pissed off. Like, I dare talk about that's my boy. I had that boy. And what do you mean I can't be in the front seat with him? They're
I
gonna be pissed
mean,
off.
no, you can be pissed off. That's fine. I would I can't retract it, right? Because that would be dumb. That would be dumb. Like, no, I said what I said because that's what makes sense. You know, a mother of sons who wants their sons in a relationship that is thriving would never interject themselves in that relationship to make him choose, and choose so blatantly and so rudely in front of the next girl, his
Mm,
girl that he's loving on. No, ma'am, I'm in the back seat.
yes,
And like I
yes.
said, there's something missing from her puzzle. It's normally the man. Because
Ain't that always the case?
since when is my mother, like, I've never been in the car with my husband and his mom. When
Really?
did we do that? When did we do that? So
See,
we had to choose? Like, what?
see,
I
and
never,
that's
I
what
ain't
I'm
never
talking about.
even recalled a situation like that.
To me, it's puzzling to me too, because that goes back, and I have to say
He's
this
married, by the way. That's why. That's why. Her
married.
husband. She drives with her husband.
See, see again. So these guys, men, do not feel obligated when you get married and that stuff to your mama. You're there to help and support. Not saying discard her, not saying get rid
No.
of her. You're
Mm-mm.
there, you're her son, you're gonna be there for you, you're gonna take care of her. But
Mm-hmm.
also you are now a grown man who's living
Mm-hmm.
their own life. So now you have to make grown man decisions. And that
Mm-hmm.
grown man decision is if anything's going your mom gonna put you in a situation, make you choose between you and her and your wife,
Mm-hmm.
you probably need to sit back and say, hey, you got to put that boundary up. Like, hey, mama, listen, I love you unconditionally, but that's my wife. You're gonna respect her just like she's gonna respect you.
And
So it can't be.
if proper respect existed in that relationship, that's an older woman, right?
Yes,
It would have been an
yes.
older woman, right? Naturally, you would have said, "Oh no, no, Mrs. Such and Such, you sit in the front seat, please. You know, I got these young legs. I'm sitting in the back. I'm good." I
Exactly.
wouldn't. You wouldn't have a problem with it naturally. But what
Absolutely.
did you just say to me? Nah, get your ass in the back before I snatch you to the back. Yeah.
You gonna snatch the wig off her. You gonna
Yeah.
snatch the wig.
No, no. Your wig can stay intact, but snatch up out of that car. Mm-mm. Come on, get up out of my way. Because you're getting disrespectful, and I don't like disrespect. And you might have to catch an Uber wherever you're going at this point.
Oh,
Yeah. We're not,
damn.
no. It was too much. Like, it's the disrespect. I can't, like, from the people who's supposed to love on you, supposed to support, you know, your union, something that's supposed to be thriving,
Yes.
um, something that's supposed to protect you and your children. I
Yes.
mean, you cannot like respect anyone who's trying to pour poison into your union that is that important.
Oh, did you just
Like
say
that's
cool?
poisonous.
Oh, dang. You're right. You're absolutely right. You
And
are
I,
absolutely right.
and I'm sorry, moms did, but somebody might feel a little offended about that too. But if you're not acting in a way or manner to where you know, either you're silent or you know, you're literally pouring poison on someone's union.
And why?
That union exists for us to live and thrive financially, spiritually, protect our children, protect our home, protect our mental space, every ounce of everything about you now, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be protected by that. And
Yes.
someone's there who's supposed to be a loved one on top of that, pouring poison into y'all pot. Where you think that poison gonna go?
Everywhere.
Everywhere, because you
Hmm.
pouring it into our union.
Yep. And now you
That
get
union
animosity.
is everything.
Mm.
The poison goes everywhere. Now
And
you
then you poison
poisoning our
kids.
kids.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
you know
Steve.
it. Got
They
the household all poisoned up. Yes, got your son looking crazy. Like, I don't know who to choose. You're not supposed to have to choose, my love. You're not supposed to have to choose. I would not make you choose, my dear. Why is she making you choose? You can
oh
have us both, believe
Steve.
it or not.
Oh my God. You
It's
just
your
said
mom.
you had said something that so many people is, are scared to say or don't want to say, but you can have it all. You don't have you can spread yourself to everybody, but you can't say I'm exclusively this person or exclusively this person. He's my
Mhm.
mama. He understands. He know he your mama.
Yeah.
That's not something he gotta be confused about. He know your his mama, but as his mama, you understand you raised him to be a grown man, to be able to
Hmm.
take care of another woman
Hmm.
and be able to take care of his family and make sure that he's doing the right thing. So that means you're going to have to take a back step. It's natural. It's the
Yeah.
natural order. You have to because he has to go out there and find his happiness. And you should be happy that he's finding his happiness.
Hmm.
You should be mad. Well, I ain't like her anyway. She was this, she was that. First of all, mama ain't gonna really like any fucking body you bring anyway as a guy.
Hmm.
Nobody never gonna be good enough for you. Nobody ever gonna treat my baby like I treat. And no, they shouldn't. I mean, god damn it, they're a woman. They shouldn't treat you. They should enhance his life. They shouldn't treat
Yeah.
you as a mama, be a mama's boy. No, she should be able to make him grow and become and
Yeah.
blossom into being the man he's supposed to be.
Yeah. And so a man who's going to be able to create a family that when it's time to take care of his mama, right? That family, that said family, is now able to welcome her perhaps into their home to take care of her in her elder years. Yeah,
But
that's the other part of, how you create and treat people. Those same people that, you working on and pouring into, right? That household that you pouring into, whatever it is, whether it be poisons or blessings, that's the same household that's going to turn around and have to support you.
see, why don't they understand that?
Like, what are you doing? I would be nice to every female my son encounters because I don't know. This young lady may have to be that young lady who has me at her mercy, who is there to take care of me if she, feels so moved to do so. Because my
Absolutely.
son, he's a boy, he's a son, and you just don't know how tentative, your son really is or is going to be towards his, elder mother.
Exactly. Because certain things he's just not going to feel comfortable doing. So he's going to have a female touch
Yep.
to deal with that.
Yep.
So you wouldn't want to piss off the woman that could literally wipe your ass down the road.
Yep. Who could literally
have to wipe your ass.
down the
So
road. Yeah.
mamas, be very careful if your son gets married and you don't like the wife, but she hasn't done nothing to you. You just don't like her, whatever. As long as he's happy and they're growing and those kids are growing, you should be very happy because again, if I had a watch on, I look at my watch and say, because time is ticking, and shit happens every goddamn day, and you piss off that young lady or that woman and piss off so she don't want to fucking deal with you. If something happens to you, you're gonna wish to God that you had been nice to her, because if not,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't care if their relationship is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. I don't care if he not, whatever y'all doing. But the mothers should not be disrespecting, that lady he's brought in his life for whatever reason. Like, we can address situations without bringing disrespect to the table, right?
absolutely.
Oh, I heard you did this to my son. Oh, I heard, you and my son had an issue with this. You can certainly, if your son reaches out, hey, Ma, can you talk to her about this? Because this happened. As a mother, you're going to feel a little offended. Like, what you say she done did to my son? I know she did not, right? Like, you would, you loyal children, but loyalty doesn't mean disrespect, right?
No, it doesn't.
Absolutely.
It really doesn't. And I think a lot of people don't know, because emotions get involved. Because it's your baby. 'Cause as a mother, that's still your baby. I
Yeah.
had him, and you're gonna treat my baby like no shit. But you gotta understand that there's young. They're still trying to walk through this thing called life, this journey called marriage, this journey called parenthood, and all this stuff. So you have to, yeah, you listen as a mama, but you also got to put your head on as a much more mature adult and
Yep.
say, hey, I've seen this before, and give her ideas and solutions to her problem. So you're more of a guidance, more than the person that's going to try to take them to where you think you should go, because that's not your job. Your job is to make sure that you're there to help, whenever possible. And the other thing is, I'm gonna say, is to guys, don't go to your fucking mama every time it's a problem. If it's a problem,
It's a
you
little
know,
weird.
yeah,
Really,
don't go to your mama for
it's
fucking
weird.
problems.
Yeah.
Start talk to your significant other and talk that shit out. But don't go to your mama ass talking and she doing this, she doing that. No. Because then when that happens, now you impose your mama into your fucking business, and now you can't keep putting her in, taking her
Can't
out.
untake her. You can't take her out of the business. That's the bottom line, is that you can't take her out once you put her all the way in, especially when you put her in a certain type of way. But the other side to that is, be mindful that we have to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'm not getting 100% the whole story. So if my
Nope.
son or daughter comes to me, and they're angry and they all, revved up to tell me, what happened, nobody's revved up to say, I hurt myself. Hey, mama, I did this to me. I'm going to tell what somebody else did to me, right? I'm going to say that
Absolutely.
he hurt me, right? He
Yep.
did this to me. he did that to me. I'm not going to come inside the house and say, he did that to me because, I did this and this and this and this to him. And then this would happen. And then, nah, how dare he do this to me because of, not even because of this, but he did this. And then he did this. And then he did some more of this, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And she's going to be like, well, do that to my baby. And then just think about a man, right? Like, she ain't even cook me dinner. She didn't do this. She didn't do that. She ain't even did the laundry in the whole month. You ain't even mentioned that. He ain't been to work in a month. He been sitting on his ass. Yeah, ain't no groceries in the house. She ain't even had no money to go to the laundromat. Like, yeah, nobody's going to tell the whole entire story. So when you're listening to the story, you just got to be there to be the listener. You can't judge it as the gospel truth, right? They're not to say they're lying, not to say that we're lying, because it's not a they thing, it's an us thing, right? It's all of us. Not to say that we're lying. But when I go in, especially the first time around, right? Anytime you tell the story the first time, right? Not to say it's the furthest thing from the truth, but you left a lot out. That's the truth. The one thing that we can all be assured to is the first time you go to tell that story, you might tell all truths in the story, but your ass left a lot of stuff out. Okay. Yeah. You did it too, Malcolm. You did it too. You've done it too.
Yeah, you done it because again, you want somebody on your side. It's not a really, you don't want somebody who's a negotiator. You want somebody to tell you your argument is correct.
It's
that you're suffering. Yes. Yeah. My suffering.
Like, how dare they? Yes, no. Don't do that to you. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And then you come back and be like, but I did do this, You're like, what? How'd you leave that part out though? I mean, I wasn't thinking about that part. Like, how was you not thinking about the part that started the whole damn thing, son? How?
That is so true. That is true as hell. Yeah. And then, you start something and now you open up the box. You open the Pandora's box because by doing that, now you open it up to her asking your mama, asking you all kinds of shit. How, is it better? Is she cooking this? And now she have an attitude towards her because what you said. You gonna look at it, that lazy motherfucking bitch. She ain't cooking it for my baby. How he's working out there and shit because we done went out there and told mama all this shit and made him look like the savior and look like she's a fucking demon seed. Yeah. And now you walk away and don't realize you open up the box and now you can't close the box because the top is gone. Because and mama can't wait for that top to disappear. So she can just also put her 2 cents in every fucking thing that's going on.
Everything that's moving and grooving from now on.
And she'll stop by your fucking house and look at your house and look how dirty this house is.
Yeah.
It was never this dirty when you live, at the house.
One thing on the floor now in the house super dirty. You're like, come on. But not if you're messing with a real one though, right? With the real parents, real back end, because the truth of the matter is that they exist, right? And there are going to be parents who's going to look at their children and, like, Tamara, really? Really? So he did that and you did what? Nothing? Oh, okay, not true. Wait, whenever you're ready, whenever you're ready to have that conversation, I'm here. The real conversation, there's going to be real people who can have real conversations, and whether the conversations be, I'm just sitting here in silence and I'm gonna give you a week or two to tell me, to circle back around and have the real conversation later on, or I'm gonna just take what you gave me and I'm gonna just move accordingly. I give you the help that you need, but understand that you didn't give me the whole truth. So I'm not gonna then judge your counterpart based off of anything you said. I'm gonna just have been the ear that you needed because you were basically Vincent. Because that's basically what's happening, right? You go to your parents, loved ones, you go to your sister, you go to your brother, go to your boy, go to your coworker, whoever's your vent person, right? You call up your cousin out of town on your ride home. That's your vent partner, right?
Absolutely.
Those people are not supposed to take what you're saying as 100%. And they know. Most of them know.
Yes,
Like,
you should know. You should know that because you know they would do it. They're not gonna
yeah,
give you the good, bad, and the ugly. They're gonna give you all the good. The bad
yep.
and the ugly, you don't need no of that. I want you to just agree with me. Just say yes, yes to
For the
what I'm
right
telling you.
here. Yeah.
That's all I need. And in the end, that's gonna help you because you still got the same fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still being
But you
honest.
was able to get a release, right? You needed to release, right? Because you were so hyped up, you were so revved up, right? And that's why you was only motivated to tell one side of the story because I was so hyped. Like, what? He still wanted me to cook. I done cook 7 days a week. He's still complaining. You want another meal? Yeah. Now I gotta pick up the phone. I gotta call somebody about this. Yeah. What you
That is
gonna
true.
say? Yeah, girl, you know that you cook enough, you fine. Let me pick up the phone and say I didn't cook. You ain't cook for that moment. No, I was just agreeing with you in that moment. No, I was just trying to make you feel good for that moment. You need to cook. That's what your good friend gonna tell you.
That's
Yeah.
true, and that's the other thing. You got to surround yourself with good friends.
Mm-hmm.
You got to purge the people around you because it comes to a point as you progress and grow. Some people just ain't good for you.
Yeah,
And that's the hard. It really is an easy decision. It's not really hard. I mean, if you look at hard, it's just the number of years you know them. But that doesn't mean they really add anything to you. So you need to like keep them away from it because you get some of them friends. You're like, you don't mean me no good. You really don't. Every time I fucking talk to you, you always put some fuck shit in my mind. Shit that we used to do 20 years ago. You're like, oh, let's
right.
go ahead and do this. I know goddamn well
No,
that's not where I'm at. No, I don't
like,
want to do that.
no, we can't do that.
No.
Yeah. You see
So
yourself surrounded by people still doing crazy stuff like, yeah, that you can't be doing. You
get
already
rid of
know
them.
it's time to let go.
You got to let
Mm-hmm.
them go, and you have to for your own sanity and your own growth. Because
Yeah,
again, you constantly want to surround yourself with people that's going to help you grow and help you be in a space that you either are or want to be, not in a space you used to be. You don't
that's true.
want nobody. You don't want those kind of people. They'll pull you back. Because why? Why the fuck do you? They want you to be better than they are, or do
Mm-hmm.
something different. They want you to be back with us. We drinking, we kicking, we. I can't do this shit no more. Again, I'm married. I got kids.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. I just see somebody with some common sense. If you ain't got no common sense, again, I'll holler at you when I see you. But other than that, deuces. Because
And
you
at
have to.
some point, you need to kind of set the trend amongst your group of people, right?
Yes.
Like, no,
Yes.
it is part. It's time for us to start, settling down and choosing one mate and having children and, you know, getting real jobs and paying attention to how we move and, financially, trying to stabilize the households. Like, it's time to move different.
Yes.
And sometimes it's going to be you who has to kind of set that trend. And you setting that trend is by you walking away. Like, nah, I can't live like y'all. I found a real one. I'm settling down with her. Like, nah, I'm not rocking with y'all at the club, ladies. I found a real one. I'm settling down with him. Like, yeah, that's okay to set that trend. Be the first one in the
Yes.
group who can't go to the club and tear the joint up because you at home. Yes, with your
You're at
man.
home with
Yeah,
your man, not
mhm,
a man, but your man.
your
And
man. Yeah.
that's what that and T. That's when you start to separate because when you got your man, and this was trying to find a man,
Mm-hmm.
right there you got to kind of you're in a
We
different
have a little
relationship.
breaky break. Yeah, we got to give each
Hmm.
other a small break because, your intentions in life right now are different than mine. And so when we go out for different reasons now, right?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
I got to respect why you go out and, you got to respect what I go out for too. That's
Exactly.
all. We just,
Y-
don't
Oh
go
my
out as
God.
much as often and be okay with that.
Yes, and be cool with it.
Yep.
And it's like I knew before I got married, a lot of guys like, oh, if I once I get married, man, I can't do this, I can't do this. It was almost like a death knell. It was almost like growing up. It's like, oh God, if I get married, my life is over. Because the
Yeah,
freedom thing, I don't have my freedom, and that really is a mindset. That's not even the reality.
that's
Because it
weird.
actually is once you get married, you actually have a lot more going on. But you're like, damn, I don't drink as much, I don't party as much. I actually take care of myself. I'm doing well. I have purpose. I'm doing, I'm
Mhm.
actually looking forward to it rather than just partying every fucking weekend. And a lot
Or
of people are scared
partying
about
with
that.
random people.
Oh my God.
Like
Yes.
you keep switching up your crowd. When you married and you party, it didn't only be the same group of y'all. Like, nah, this how we hang out. Meet up at the same little spot, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And I go home with the same guy, I might be
Yes.
wasted or I might not, he might have had a few drinks. I might have to be the designated driver, but we still got the
Yes.
same common denominators. Mm-hmm.
And you're happy. You're happy, and you're like, listen, I got somebody got my back, and that's ultimately what we want. We want somebody when you get married, when you start dating someone, you want somebody that ultimately has your back.
Absolutely.
And you can't allow other people to dictate that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't tell you over the years how many people got talked out of good relationships, literally talked out of it
Wow.
because this person's too this or too straight laced, too this, and you don't talk about this. You don't talk. You're too young to get tied down with somebody like this. Well, the motherfucker you was talking to was a straight laced dude. He was working every day. Now you want him. No,
Uh-huh.
no, then you can have some fun. Then you got to fuck with some loser, some bum motherfucker who ain't want to do nothing but party and drink and smoke all the goddamn time.
Yep.
And 10 years later, he's still smoking, still drinking, and now you got a couple kids by that bum motherfucker.
Yep.
The dude that was a nice guy, he done got married, big ass house, wife travel all over the goddamn place. You seem like, oh, that could have been me. No, it could never been you
No.
because you fucked up. Because you wanted this lifestyle that your mama or whoever told you you need to have it. And still you look and say, you know what? I don't want to live like this. Because what happens, Steve, when you start riding like that in your 20s? You start
You're
riding
right.
like that in your 20s, you start
And you
riding
should
into your
run out.
30s.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
then you're in your 30s,
Acting
like,
like shit
what
never
the
gonna
fuck?
run out.
And
Like,
it
nah.
does.
And then you start making fun of the people who get married early. Like, oh, they tripping. Oh, what they doing? Oh, they done lost their mind. Oh, what type of control is that? Like, no, I'm not. Nobody has control over me. I'm just married. It's the
Yes.
difference. I'm just married.
Yes. And unlike you, who I can go home every day and know my husband is right there. When you
Mm-hmm.
go home every day, you don't know who's gonna be in your house. Or if
Mm-hmm.
somebody in your
Looking
house, you
for
probably want
somebody.
to get yeah, hello. How many
Mm-hmm.
times you heard people talking about, I went home, I was working, he was home, he was cheating on me. Well, first of all, why is he in your fucking
Wow.
house and you ain't working? He's cheating on you at work. He's swiping left on your ass at work. I said, yeah, I know she take care of me, but I know there's somebody else out there take care of me better.
You take better care of me.
Fuck out of here.
Wow. Yep.
So again, y'all,
Opportunistic guy.
these women need to fucking start to really, men and women, they need
Mm-hmm.
to really kind of sit back and really get a hold of who they are, and that's before you start dating anyone. Please get to know who the hell you are before you go out to search for someone. Because again, it's not just looks. We start off with looks, but
Mm-hmm.
then that look could take you to a different level because there's a whole lot of fine women out there. You don't want to take them home. You rather take the chick that don't look so fine. She'll take care of you. She's the one that will have raise a very nice home for you. That pretty one may have some issues,
I
and you
mean,
find out.
you looking too hard. You looking and what they say in love in all the wrong reasons.
And all the wrong places.
In all the wrong places for all the wrong reasons. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you being shallow is gonna get you exactly what you deserve. Mm-hmm.
See,
You
you
looking
know women
for
in their.
just looks, and you
How many
not
people we
willing,
know
huh?
like that? How many people we know like that?
Yeah, and it runs that course runs out so quick, so
Yes,
quick,
yes, and then
and it just then you back at square one, like you back, like trying to find that thing that you was initially looking for and thought you found, and there's less people out there now,
hmm
because you spent time with the person who you thought was everything aesthetically, but you didn't care to interest them to see if they were worth anything more than that.
no, and you just wasting years,
Mm-hmm.
wasting a lot of years, no, look at the number of breakups we're talking about. Because when you're saying you're going through people, those are breakups. Those are constant breakups that you're constantly
Yeah.
going through, and a lot of people aren't learning from the breakups. Just keep fucking
Yeah.
breaking up, and they keep saying it's them, it's them.
Yeah.
You have to understand if you keep fucking breaking up with somebody, it's you. Because I know some women and some men who date different types of people, and they still end up breaking up with them. And
Mm-hmm.
so the question is, do you really sit back and ask yourself, what the hell I need to do to, I need to do a self-evaluation to see what the fuck
Or
going
what
on
do
with
I
me?
not? What do I need to not do? Right? Because maybe
Yes,
I'm doing too much too soon. Right? And not
absolutely.
getting nothing in return. And that goes both ways for the male and the female. Right? There's some
Absolutely.
men who are just so giving, right?
Yep.
Find a nice, pretty woman, he's going to secure her by just giving, giving, giving. And then, later on down the road, you're like, she don't give nothing to me. She don't cook. She don't clean. She don't take care of me. She don't touch me. She don't do this, that, and the fourth. And you're like, well,
Yep.
when you were giving everything that you had to give, giving your quote unquote all, did you require anything in return then?
Hello. Exactly. And you can't get mad at that point. Because you done
Well,
gave
you
she
certainly
gave me
can.
everything and I can't, now she didn't give me anything. Well, again, she realized she had to give you anything. And she still got
Yes.
shit. So why
Yeah.
would I change that? Why would I give you something when you showed me I ain't gotta give you a bunch of anything? Just
Yeah.
smile at you and blink my eyes at you every day and you'll give me everything I need. So why would she change that?
Because I thought what I was given, which was technically me, I thought that was good enough because that's all you cared about. So why would I start doing something differently now?
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's true, and that goes with with guys too. Where women look, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna give him this. He gonna change. I'm gonna show him a different way. You can show him anything he wants to do, but for a man, unless he really wants to do it,
Mm-hmm.
it won't get done. Again, we had this discussion in a previous podcast about women will spend years with guys, decades with guys, and they'll leave them, and in 6 months they marry someone else, and they're like, "Why the hell they marry someone else?" Because you
Mm-hmm.
basically set them up for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because along that time, in those years, you never, not once thought, "Well, what am I ultimately going to get out of this?" You kept putting into this guy and molding this guy and doing what you need to do to get him to be the guy you want him to be. But all you did was set him up to be the guy someone else is going to take from you.
But technically, he wasn't the guy for her anyway. But you were sitting there pouring your everything into him. And the problem with that is that you poured so much into him that it started running your time out. And,
Mm-hmm.
your good years, your best years, right? You gave them
Mm-hmm.
away to somebody else. And, you can't get that time back. But now you out looking for that guy that's going to love you properly from the jump, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to jump through hoops for you to love me properly. Like a proper courtship does not require either party to jump through hoops in order to, prove that we're both honest and sound people who's interested in each other. Right? Neither party should be jumping through hoops. And if you got a guy who's showing interest in you, like I'm not a type of girl. So, you can allow him to kind of carry on until he can find the girl that he's really really into and who kind of motivates him to kind of do what is necessary for us to be able to thrive. Because the man who's, let's take like the biggest thing, man not working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
how is he going to feed me? How are we going out? Like, I
That's
don't get
true.
it. I don't get it. I just feel like if a man who wanted to like get to know me would understand that he needed to work in order to get some time with me, right? How is
Absolutely.
he going to get the time with me? He's going to invite me to go out to eat, right? But if
Absolutely.
you have no money, then you can't even begin to get to know me because you can't afford the bill at the end of the meal.
No.
Yeah.
No. And at that point, any guy that wants to come out that wants to eat on you and he knows he has no money, it's the guy you definitely don't want to be fucking around with.
No.
And please don't
Until
fucking
he's
have a
made
baby
the
by him.
changes that he's need to properly make. In most situations, most of us don't really change. And so the person that you signed up for today, that's the person who you have tomorrow
Absolutely.
and always. So you really got to choose, carefully. Choose what they say, choose wisely.
Yep. Choose wisely. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. T, again, we start off with this whole breakup,
With
with
Steve and Marjorie, which I hope is not true. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope they, and if it is true, I don't know how far gone it is, but I never pray for, anyone's breaking,
No.
because it's painful on both ends. And, it's more than just the parties who, are written in the divorce paper, right? It's the
Yeah.
children that are there, whether they share them biologically, who's gonna suffer, even if they're adult children, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I don't want to have to be worried about my dad's mental space because him and his wife are split up, or I don't want to have to be worried about my mom's mental space because her and her husband split up. I don't want to have to worry about them, while they're out dating. Are they dating safely?
Absolutely.
So whether it be a child, inside of a divorce, or adult children, or
Hmm.
whether you be you're the mother in that situation, or the father, the breakups are hard on everybody.
It is. It really is. And as you said, we don't wish this on anybody. And we all went through breakups. We all broke, and we all will continue to go through breakups. And not just,
Absolutely.
a marriage,
Marital
could be
breakups.
family, could be friendship, and all that stuff. But when you go through breakups, you have to learn something from it. You have to
Mm-hmm.
understand, you have to establish boundaries so that you understand that if you don't set up boundaries, you're going to bound to be hurt over and over and over again. And you have to also, at some point, sit back, take some time, and evaluate what are you doing.
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing something wrong, and make those changes? Because if you don't,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to continue to go through this non-ending cycle of breakups and hurt and pain and breakup. And so you got to learn from it, because if you don't, you could be in a world of hurt for a long, long time. And nobody wants to be hurt for a long time. It's part of life, it's part of the journey, but you got to learn from it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. So with that, T, you got anything else to add?
I mean, no, break that cycle. Slow yourself down. Like, you shouldn't be having the same breakup. It just doesn't make sense after a while. We'd be tired of listening to it. Calling up your girlfriend talking about you broke up with such and such. I told you that was the same type of guy. Told you. You done dated the same type of guy 3 times over the last 10 years, and you keep breaking up with him. You do have to slow down. You have to take time to reflect. Sometimes it's not what you're doing, sometimes it's what you're allowing. So sometimes you just slow down and move accordingly.
Damn it, T. If I had my mic, mic's to my side, I'd drop it. It's a mic drop. Boom. So people, again, just do better. And by doing better, evaluate what you're doing. Evaluate your decisions. And don't just blow it off, because you're the one that have to make the decision to make your life happy. So again, take the time for yourself, learn about yourself, and just do better. And with that, we're going to end this episode of On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
Listen, people, you know what you got to do. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell so you can get the next episode that when it comes out. Until then, peace and blessings, people.